All right, people, we're finally here. This I hope you've been understanding everything we've been talking about so far. If you haven't, go and rewatch the other videos before coming here, because this is where everything actually comes together, and this is the basic knowledge you need to start playing on an instrument. Okay, so I don't know, have you ever heard, I mean, when people say, oh, I sing an F, I sing on key F, or someone asks, what key is this? Or they're just talking about keys in music and like, oh, I can't sing on that key, or that's too high for me, or something like that. If you've heard that, but you don't know what people are referring to, that's what this video is gonna cover. Okay, so in music, a key is the note around which a piece of music revolves around, or it's kind of like the home base of a song, where you're playing a song, you're singing a song, and every now and then you're landing on that note. So if someone is singing on C, for example, and the person is singing, probably hits this note, probably hits this note, probably hits this note, but most of the time the person is coming back here, or the song is ending here, or the song is starting here. Like, however it is, like, everything revolves around this. Now, that's just, theoretical knowledge, but what is that actually? All right. What is a key in music? Every note in music represents a possible key, and that's why we took our times to go over notes, music alphabets, intervals, tones and semitones, sharps and flats, etc., because they all come together to give us what we have right now. So in music, there are 12 keys in total. 12 keys, okay, in total. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 keys in total. Now, there you could arrange them in any order. I'm not saying that key 1 is A or key 2. No, it's just, I was just using that to count how many keys we have. Okay, so if you watched the previous videos, you know that we have black keys at times that have two names. Okay, I mean, every black key has two names. Well, most often we don't say A sharp, we just say B flat. Most often we don't say D sharp, we say E flat. And you hardly hear people say G sharp as well, so they say A flat. But for the other ones, these are used interchangeably. Like, someone could say, oh, C sharp, I'm on key C sharp, or I'm on key D flat, or I'm on key F sharp, or G flat. Okay, so this is one key. All right, so if you count everything in total, we have 12 keys. You can sing on any of these keys, and when you're singing on any key, let's say you start from C, that's your key you're singing on. Okay, this will be your next black note. This will be 2. You skip 1 again. 3, 4, there's nothing to skip there. 5 and 6 and 7, you skip this. So these notes, these ones that these notes that I have circled here and numbered, these are the notes that make up the C major scale. Now we're going to get into this later, but I just wanted to introduce to you what a key kind of is. A key is just any notes that the music revolves around. So it could be B flat, okay? Your key could be B flat, your key could be C sharp, your key could be E flat, okay? Either way, you should know that that's the home base of your singing, of your music, that's the home base. So you start from somewhere and then you figure things out as you go on. You start from F and then everything revolves around F. You start from B and then everything revolves around B. So in the next couple of slides, I'm going to show you what it means when I say everything revolves around a key. For now, just know that a key is what a note revolves around in music. Alright, so let's move on and talk about that. Now, a scale. Okay? Scales in music, they're the selection of certain notes within an octave. Remember what an octave is? Do you remember? It's, the distance between one note and the same note, but on a higher pitch or a lower pitch. So let's start from our friendly neighborhood C again. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C again. Okay? Now I've pretty much drawn one octave. Okay? This is one octave. One octave. This is one C, another C. That's one octave. Now, if I select 5 notes within this octave, okay, there might be other notes here, D, E, whatnot. But if I just let's focus on any notes between here. So I'm selecting 5 notes. So let me select this note. Okay. Let me select this note. Let me select this note and this note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Okay, so what did I select? I selected C, I selected E, I selected G, I selected A, and I selected C again. Okay, they are different notes, they are the same note, but different pitches, this and this. So now I just selected these notes from the octave. Now this is what I call, or this is what you call a scale. And it is actually the specific name for this scale is a pentatonic scale because it has 5 notes in it. It has 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Penta 5. We're not going to go into details about the pentatonic scale, but that's just a scale is just selecting notes within an octave. So once you select those notes, you formed a scale, right? You form the scale. That's what it is. Select notes, you form a scale. Now, but the most important scale I want to talk to you about today is the major scale. Now, every scale has a formula. That's how I knew what the pentatonic scale was made up of. The pentatonic scale has its own formula. I didn't randomly pick these notes, just so you know. It actually follows a formula to form that pentatonic scale, but it has a formula. So if you pick a note following a specific formula, then you form a scale. So now the formula with a major scale is tone, semitone, tone, semitone. So it's just something to have handy in your head. So tone, semitone, tone, semitone. Now, what does this mean? Let's start with our friendly neighborhood C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. Now that I've written that, we should know that between C and D there is actually a semitone there, C sharp. Between D and E there's D sharp, or I'll call it E flat. Between E and F there's nothing. Between F and G there's F sharp. Between G and A is an A flat. Between A and B is a B flat. Between B and C there's nothing. Okay, so now that we know our notes, our complete notes, let's follow this formula to pick, because what we're trying to do is pick out which notes will form the major scale. Like I said, a scale is just a combination of notes within an octave. This is a whole octave, okay? Now I'm just trying to figure out which notes I should pick to form the major scale, the C major scale. Okay, we're going to do this example for D major scale, we're going to do this example for E major scale, and so on and so forth. But let's start with C. Okay, so tone, that's the first note we should pick. We should pick a tone away from C. What's a tone away from C? This is a semitone. This is a tone. So if we start with C, a tone is this one, D. What next? Another tone. So we need to skip E flat and come all the way here and choose E. Then the next is a semitone. So F is naturally a semitone because there's nothing to skip. So F. Then tone again. So we skip F sharp and come to G and select G. After G, what again? A tone. We skip A flat and come to A. After A, what next? A tone. We skip B flat and come all the way to B. After that, what's next? A semitone, which is naturally C because there is nothing. So this is the C major scale. So if someone says, play the C major scale, okay, let's go to our virtual piano. Let's name this. Okay, so the C major scale, what did we say they were? It was C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. A major scale, think of it as the simple do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That is what a major scale is. So we are just trying to find out what notes make up this sound, okay? So we figured that that's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right. So we go to our keyboard or our instrument and we play those notes. And that's the major scale. Okay. Now let's do something interesting. Okay. Before that, so this is just an explanation of what I just did there. So between C and D, it's a tone. Between D and E, it's a tone. Tone, tone, semitone. Tone, 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 semitone. Okay. That's what makes a major scale. Now let's do something daring, okay? Something really daring. Now we're trying to find out what notes make up the D major scale. Now remember, our formula is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, okay? So what do we do first? We start from D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and D. Okay, always, stop at where you started from. Now between D and E, there's a black notes there, so E flat. Between E and F, there's no black notes. Between F and G, there's F sharp. Between G and A, there's A flat. Between A and B, there's B flat. Between B and C, there's nothing. And between C and D, there's C sharp. Now, the formula is tone, tone, semitone. Tone, 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 semitone. So let's go. Tone. Between D and E, there's a note, so we skip that. So first of all, we write D. So the next note is a tone, E. Another tone. Interesting. If we're going a tone away from E, that means we're doing what? We're skipping the semitone and going straight here. F sharp. Okay, don't think we're always skipping the sharps and flat. No, it's only in C that happens. Every other key has some sort of sharp or flat in it. So now, Semitone now. So semitone, we don't skip any notes. What's next? G. So we write down G. Now what next is a tone. So we skip this one and take A. Another tone. So we skip this one and take B. Another tone. We skip this bop and then we get C sharp. Right? Because between B and C is a semitone. Now we don't want a semitone, we want a tone. And then the last is a semitone. So between C sharp and D is a semitone. So what does that mean? This is the major scale. So when you play on your instrument, you're playing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So if you noticed, we had do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do here on key C. And now I'm telling you that you have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do on D major scale. And the reason is because these are two different keys, so they have two different major scales. And major scales are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's the easiest way to explain it. Because a couple of times people, you're playing the instrument, you're playing the guitar, and someone be like, oh, show me where do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is, or show me where do is or re is. And like, you can literally start from anywhere, and that's your do or that's your re. You have to specify what key you're on. So the key you're on, that's what determines your do. Okay, that's the important thing now to realize, is that the key you're starting on, that's where you start your major scale from. That's where you start your do. That's why everything revolves around that key, because anything that's your do, that's where you naturally gravitate towards when you're playing music. So I could start an E major scale, for example, and then E becomes my do. I could start an F sharp major scale, for example, and F sharp becomes my do. So do isn't a note on the keyboard or on the guitar or anything. No, the notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and there are also sharps between it. So there's A flat, B, C, C sharp. Those are all notes. All the sharps and flats are also notes. So you can literally start your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do on any key. The important part is that you stick with this formula of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, to find out what your re is, to find out what your mi is, to find out what your fa is, and so on and so forth. So let's take this example now to the keyboard. So we have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Okay, so D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. That's what makes up do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, starting on D, key D. If it's not just D, E, F, that's not, you're not gonna hear the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Let's try that, okay? It's not the same thing. Wait. Okay, so you see why it's important to know what notes you play based on what key you're playing on. So that's it for this lesson. If you have questions, feel free to leave a comment, to send a message on the group chat, to call me, whatever it takes for you to understand this, okay? Because you're going to have to do some work this week. All right, so here's the assignment. I like giving assignments, but it's for your own good and so that you learn. So your assignment, first thing you need to do is write down the musical alphabet. These are simple things you can do, but it's just for you to get into the habit of knowing what you're actually doing rather than just listening to me talking. You can actually put your hands into this whole thing. So write down the musical alphabets, write down all the keys in music, draw a diagram manually of a section of a piano spanning 2 octaves. So what does that mean? I have this is a section of a piano. This is just 1 octave. I want you to draw something like this but spanning 2 octaves. Okay, draw it with your hands and pencils. Don't just take a picture from the internet. Draw it with your hand, pen, pencil, whatever. So when you do that, you write down the notes of all of the piano keys on the diagram. Okay. After that, write down the major scale for the following keys: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. You can also take it a step further by writing down the major scale for let me see. Oh, my pen's not working anymore. Let's try. Okay, so you can write down the major scale for C sharp or E flat or B flat. All the sharps and flat. Like, if you want to take it a step further and understanding this, write down the major scale for those keys as well. And then a bonus thing you can do, this I actually encourage you to do it, is record yourself playing the C major scale on a piano or virtual piano. If you have access to a guitar, I haven't gone into the guitar lessons yet or anything. Just for you to understand, or maybe you wait until you get a guitar and learn where those notes are on the guitar. But it would be great if you can actually start getting your hands on and playing it on a piano. So just play the C major scale. It's pretty simple. You could take it a step further if you want to play the D major scale on the keyboard or anything. Just, I hope you're able to understand everything I've been saying. And I mean, it might be like a lot of information right now, but I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to interact. Everyone else is on the group chat. Just share your progress, share what you understand and what you don't understand, and we'll see how we can take it from there. All right, stay blessed and take care. Talk to you soon.